Colin Parker's here. Talk about movies. What did you see over the weekend?
I went and saw Hereafter.
Oh, okay. Matt Damon?
I did not see Paranormal Activity 2 yet, but I can tell you anything you need to know about it.
Well,
Pretty much, huh?
I'm sure if you've seen the first one, you can probably guess what the second one's like.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what? This woman who calls us, who lives in the fort, Lynn, said it was really scary.
Really,
and
everybody's
suspense.
saying that, and it's just like the first one. If you like the first one and you like
You're gonna be into
getting
that.
your pants scared off you, go for it.
Okay. Well, I like that. I like that kind of stuff, and it's suspenseful. It's very suspenseful. But
Yeah, it's
I
a
wanna
lot
see
of
a little bit more action.
It's a lot of dead air, and then all of a sudden something jumps,
Something
and then
happens.
dead air, and then
Scares
something
you.
jumps, and
That's fun.
yeah.
Number one movie, $41 million it raked in. But you saw Matt Damon's Hereafter. That was number 4, $12 million. That's not bad.
No,
So,
I think I need to see it again.
okay. It's one of those movies that has to grow.
Yeah,
on.
I'm not gonna sit here and say in my review I said it was, it's very meandering and it's very talky and very kind of slow, but it's not really. And I'm so split on this one, and I'm like driving in this morning, and I'm like, how do I say this? But I didn't hate it, and I think if I went into it thinking now what I know it is, it might actually help a little bit because it's a lot of conversation, not a lot of action. It starts with huge action. Let me back up and I'll tell you the plot. Basically, Matt Damon is a psychic. He can touch people's hands and talk to their dead relatives.
Cool.
And, this kind of thing.
All right.
So that's one storyline. So he's dealing with that. And then there's a French news anchor who was in the Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004. She dies and, sees, the white light and everything and then comes back to life. So she becomes all obsessed with, near-death experiences, and she's grappling with this. And then the third storyline is these two, I'd say 12, 13-year-old kids in London, two twin boys, one of which dies in an accident, leaving the other, twin without a brother. And so he's dealing with, his brother's death. And, since he's young, he doesn't really know what's going on. So these three stories are playing at once, and that they're going to eventually
intertwine, somehow.
right?
Yeah.
And, it starts with the tsunami, and it's just, brilliantly filmed. It looks real. It's like they had a camera there when it was going on.
So that's a lot of action. That's a good
it starts
action
there,
sequence.
and it's great action, and I'm really kind of getting into it. I'm like, this is going to be really good, and then it just becomes a movie about conversations and talking with, and that's the only action there is in the whole movie. But see, I'm seeing it with a friend of mine, and he looks over and says, "This is really slow," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think it is slow." But it's supposed to be slow. It's supposed to be kind of this meditation on, the afterlife and this kind of thing. And the thing that's really bothering me about it is that Peter Morgan wrote it, who wrote The Queen. He wrote The Last King of Scotland, both of which won Oscars for their actors, Helen Mirren and Forrest Whitaker. He also wrote Frost Nixon, which is essentially two guys sitting in a room, and it's just
talking all the time.
Engrossing conversation. It's just amazing. And there's no car chases, there's no explosions or anything like this. So the guy can write, and I don't know what happened with this one.
So maybe you got to see it again, like you said. See it again.
And I'm not necessarily against these kind of movies. I was telling you earlier about Lost in Translation, which is essentially Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson just talking and getting to know each other and this kind of thing. And again, there's no real action in it. And that was great.
It's a different type of movie. It's not really. It's
so
not
I think I think I need to see it again. I'm not going to sit here and say it's terrible or anything like that. But I think I need to. I think I need to go see it again. I didn't hate it, but I think you need to kind of go into it thinking that
you might have to see it a couple of times.
Well, you got to go into it thinking that it's not going to be a slam bang kind of action thing or
the whole way through.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I don't want to sit here and say, well, because there's no car chases, it's going to be terrible. But it's
that's true. If there's no car chases, it's going to be
really. How good can a movie be with no car chases?
Come on, let's get right down to it.
Come on.
You can read more about this review and many others at theessexcinemas.com and look for Colin's name under the bottom, down on the bottom there.
Right on the Essex Cinemas homepage, the little box with the popcorn in it, or on the Essex Cinemas Facebook page. Exactly.
Nice. All right, check it out.